Guys, how you doing? This video is about how to make your meat taste good. So usually a lot of times when people are cooking chicken and stuff like that, they can't get it to taste that good. So I'm just going to walk you through what we do here to make sure that you can use the same tactics to make sure that you get the best tasting food possible. So the first step that we want to do is we want to use almost a marinade. Now you can marinate this. People often do marinate it, but this is going to be just like a faster marinating type process. So first of all, you want to make sure your chicken is washed really well. You want to make sure your hands are washed really well because you're going to be getting your hands all into the seasoning process. Alright, so first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you got about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Alright, now this serving is going to be for myself and for my lovely girlfriend who's behind the camera right now. And so we want to make sure that I'm watching the fat for both of us. So for the serving size, she's going to use 1 thumb of fat, which would be just that 1 tablespoon of olive oil. For me, it would be more of like 2. So I can always add some on the back end, and that's okay. But I want to make sure that I keep it nice for her. So this is our chicken. It's already been cleaned and strained out. We want to kind of get all the water off of it as possible, so I use a strainer. And I'm just going to drop the chicken into the mix here. Now it is important that after you do touch raw chicken, if you're going to be touching your seasoning and stuff like that, you want to make sure you wash your hands once again. So always keep some hand soap around. Keep your hands clean during the process. Cross-contamination, my friends, cross-contamination. Now, I've already diced up some onions. All right, the onions are going to be part of the process. The onions are just going to be put in after the chicken's into the pan. Mainly because we just want the onions to absorb some of the flavor, and they're going to be a nice little topping for when you go to put them on your plate. They taste delicious once they absorb everything. So the seasonings of choice, I got my sea salt, a little bit of lemon pepper, which we're almost out of, some Italian seasoning. This is like a chicken seasoning. It's like a chicken rub. I don't use a lot of this. It's got a little sodium in it. All right, we're trying to keep the sodium low. Garlic powder. And we just picked up this bad boy earlier, which is like a 4-in-1, but I'm going to be using the poultry rub on this one. Alright, so not a lot of stuff inside of this stuff, but it should be really good. Alright, so this is a 1/4 cup right here, so I'm just going to take about 1/8 of a cup, and I'm going to go ahead and throw it in the bowl. Now it looks like there's a lot of seasoning in there, right? It looks like there's a ton, but it really isn't that much, right? So next, I'm going to go about a nice tablespoon of garlic powder. Now the rest, I'm going to kind of just sprinkle on. So my lemon pepper, I'm pretty much just going to finish that guy off. I'm going to throw a little Italian seasoning in there, just enough to see the flakes kind of cover that top layer. Now as you look into this bowl, you're like, oh my god, there's so much seasoning. But once we start getting it mixed in, it's not going to be, it's going to just coat it really well. It's not going to be overpowering. Now, sea salt, not using a lot of sodium, just enough to flavor it. These are all done. Now we go into the mixing process. So as you see, it's a nice cover over the top of it, but as we start mixing it in, we're getting all the parts of the chicken nice and coated in the seasoning. Now, the next process is I'm going to go ahead and start laying the chicken into my pan. This is going to have so much flavor. So also your oven, at this time you should already be prepping other stuff. So your oven should be on 400 already, because we're going to bake this chicken at 400, and then we're going to do that for a ½ an hour. And then after that ½ an hour is up, we're going to take it out of the oven with the lid. We're going to take the lid off, and then after that we're going to cook it for another about 5 minutes after. And that's just going to give you a nice, because when the chicken's going to be really, really moist after it's done, because the seasoning, some of that stuff's going to kind of fall off of it because you're cooking it and all the moisture staying in with the lid. Once again, guys, washing the hands with soap and water. Don't want to get cross-contamination going. Now you can do this same process with onions, you can do it with your garlic, you can do it with mushrooms. You just throw it into the pan and you allow the seasoning to absorb into the flavor. So now we're just going to take these onions and I'm just going to kind of sprinkle them around the chicken. It's pretty much like a whole onion. And they're going to cook down real good. And I'll take the top and just coat it a little bit on the top. Alright, if you don't like onions, you don't have to put this part in. If you like onions, it looks like a lot right now, but once it cooks down, they're going to lose a lot of their water and you're not going to have as much of the onions. So this is the prep process. Now I would just put my lid on as soon as the oven's ready to go. It's going into the oven for 30 minutes. After that, I'm going to take it out, make sure it's all done. I'm going to take the lid off for a little bit, cook it for another 5 minutes, and then it's ready to serve. So that is how you make your chicken or any other meat taste better.